So, the next season of Diablo 4 doesn't start until next month, and while that is quite some time away, I wanted to go ahead and make a dedicated video to go over games that are similar to Diablo 4 to go ahead and check out maybe while you are waiting for, of course, the next season to drop. So, here are my recommendations. Let's go ahead and kick it off with one of the best recommendations, and that is simply Path of Exile. We recently got a newer league, and another reason why is this game is absolutely free to play. There is zero pay to win, which I can't say with some of the other games that we are going to be talking about in this list. Some of them you're going to either have to buy the game or you're going to have to just play the game, and there are going to be microtransactions that will matter. Now, with Path of Exile, I do have a more updated, recently uploaded beginner's guide that will get you all the way from the start to the end game. If you've never played before, this is an excellent time to go ahead and start because there's a lot more newer content to go ahead and consume. And this game is probably the closest that you'll get to a Diablo experience while still maintaining some visuals that are within the same realm, because we're going to cover a lot of different action RPGs in this video. So, Path of Exile, I can highly recommend. I'm just going to go ahead and go through a bunch of these different games via Steam over here. And, I've got, thousands and thousands of hours in this game. You can even play on the non-client, which doesn't keep track of the time. But all of these games I have played, so I can give you guys kind of some suggestions here. But absolutely, without a doubt, my only, number one spot here would be Path of Exile. It's the closest, and it's free to play. But I want to go over some games that, I kind of had some fun with, and maybe you guys can have some fun with while you're waiting for the next season, or you might actually enjoy. So this game is Undecember, and you might look at this game and be like, whoa, dude, this game looks absolutely amazing. It does. And it's got a really cool system with its gem system. It's kind of similar in a sense to Path of Exile. How it works is you have a gem that you put in, and then you kind of link gems via adjacent tiles. It's actually one of the coolest systems. I think their gem design system is actually more advanced and cooler than Path of Exile. However, the game is incredibly pay to win. Now, can you still have some fun with the game without paying? Absolutely, but the game is a huge grind fest, but the items are actually quite cool. It's just unfortunate that the game does have pay-to-win mechanics in it. Basically, you just straight up just go in the game and buy currency, and it is a heavy grind game. But I would still say it is worth a check out because this other game is also a free-to-play game, which is actually surprising considering the game looks so dang good. And the boss mechanics are great. There's a lot of nice things with this game, but unfortunately, the reason why it doesn't have the greatest of reviews is, again, it is pay-to-win. Now, the other game that I want to go ahead and start off with this video, because I wanted to introduce 3 games at the start that are completely free, which the rest of the games that we're going to be talking about all cost money. This is Torchlight Infinite. It does have a PC Steam client, and I've invested quite some time in this game. I've defeated pretty much most of the endgame bosses that you can do. You can go even higher in the game, but for the most part, I had a good amount of time with this game. It's actually quite similar to the Path of Exile system in terms of its complexity. However, it is pretty easy to get into, and you can get a 6 link essentially really easy in the game. It's a great game. I genuinely had a blast playing this game, and it's got a really good endgame system. It's even got in-game auction house trade systems. I wouldn't really worry about the pay to win with this game. Yes, you can buy these little pets in the game. This is just some earlier gameplay that I'm showing off kind of items here. But the pet system in the game, it does give you power, absolutely. The game is objectively considered pay to win, but it's not by such a huge amount. You can still have so much fun with this game. You can easily dump 100+ hours into this game and not worry too much about the pay to win. But that is Torchlight Infinite and is also free. Now, obviously, the previous Diablo games are similar to the the rest of the games in the series. However, this is the Hell 3. This doesn't come out till next year, technically. However, you can get early access to the Hell 2. You can just play for free. If you happen to have Diablo 1, you can get this game for free. The Hell 1 and 2 are excellent expansions to Diablo 1. And I want to give a shout out to Diablo 1 and 2, but I figure Diablo 1, 2, and 3, people already know about it, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about the expansions. Now, this is a fan-made expansion, but this adds 29, yes, you heard that right, 29 classes to the game. It's got insane customization that, it will actually blow you away. This design system of this game is absolutely amazing. You have these perk things that can completely change up your build. You also have these specializations that can completely change a build. You can actually make the game way harder. There's a bunch of different things. There's way more unique items in the game. There is so much content. I'm just going to recommend you guys to check out my video for this game. It redoes the inventory. It does so much for the Diablo series. So if you already have your Diablo 1 copy, this is technically a free game. But if you don't happen to have Diablo 1, Well, I would say, hey, you can click something to download it. I can't provide you that link, but if you just do a small Google search, you might be able to find a Diablo 1 file online. And the reason why I would just say normally just go buy the game, a lot of people don't have a CD drive, and this is kind of like a legacy game. You can get it off of GOG, it's like $10, and then you can download all the Diablo mods. This is a fantastic mod, and again, the mods are all free, so if you still have your Diablo MPQ file, or you've happened to find it online somehow, yeah, you can just play this game. It's excellent, excellent. Highly, highly recommend it. Another thing that I actually really liked is Diablo II Median XL. It requires you to still have Diablo 2, like the base game, but this is another mod, and I highly recommend you guys to check out a dedicated video for this because there's so much to explain. But basically, there are several new classes. There are like several skill trees. There's like an older video here where we had a different interface, but this is probably one of the best Diablo mods you will ever see to ever exist. There's also Diablo 2 remodded, but for the most part, there are a lot of great Diablo mods out there for D2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and also mention Diablo 3 really quick. There is a newer season that did recently start, and if you guys want to check out like a full walkthrough playthrough, I actually think Diablo 3's campaign for a beginner is an excellent game to go ahead and dump. You know, you could easily dump 100 plus hours in Diablo 3. I was actually doing like a full walkthrough for the Nintendo Switch in this gameplay. But yeah, Diablo 3 is still a relatively popular game. You could still find lots of other people, and the great thing with Diablo 3 is you can just hop in and just play the game with just random people, which you can't really do with Diablo 4, which is something that I think I should mention here. So another game that is actually quite similar, and I can highly recommend this game as well. However, you do have to buy these games. Now, some of the other games, again, technically you'd have to buy Diablo 1 and 2, but I'm assuming that you might happen to stumble across the files online, or you may already own it in your Battle.net launcher, and you just have to move some files over to basically get the mods to work. But this is probably one of my highest recommendations that isn't specifically Path of Exile, because Path of Exile is free. This game does cost money, but I did have quite a bit of fun with this. I've got, like, at least via the Steam client, I've got like I think I got like 200 plus hours in this one. Yeah, I got like 200 hours in it. I had fun with it. So like I said, all these games I have personally played myself. But yeah, Last Epoch is really cool. The thing that makes this game a little bit different is that each skill has its own skill tree, which is kind of the most exciting thing with this game. It doesn't necessarily feel like a AAA game in terms of like the gameplay itself, like the action visceral combat. However, the skill customization, the itemization is so incredibly well done. I wish we just had Diablo's engine, but with this game's like ideas, because this game has such great ideas for, you know, each individual skill being able to have its own skill tree. The crafting in this is probably the best crafting in any action RPG because it's so easy to understand, and you could basically get crafting instantly, whereas with Path of Exile or some other action RPGs, like, you got to be reading a Bible and you need a degree to actually understand it. The next game that I want to talk about is Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. I actually really like this game's campaign. While I want to say that this game in the earlier stages had an incredible amount of bugs, they have fixed a lot of bugs in this game, and realistically, if you want a really good looking game, I would say this is probably still one of the best looking action RPGs, even in 2024. It runs off of the Cry engine, but like, this game looks so dang good, and you can easily dump 50 plus hours in this game and have some fun. You can see I had 73 hours. I also did play on another client back when it was called like Umbral. Like, I actually had the Kickstarter version of this game. I think I paid $10 for it back a long time ago, but this is another game that you do have to buy, and heck, it's actually on sale right now. Some of these games are on sale, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, because I actually picked up one of the games that was kind of on my to-do list for a while. But this game, Grim Dawn, is also really cool. I think I had this on a different account, but I don't have my hours tracked. But I liked this game with mods too. You can actually get mods. There's actually Diablo 2 inside of this game if you want to download the mods. Like, someone made the entirety of Diablo 2 on the Grim Dawn engine. So this game is really cool as well. Again, it's another action RPG that you can spend tons and tons of time in. And again, the thing that's cool with this, and I didn't really mention Torchlight 2, but Torchlight 2 is another really great action RPG if you are interested in mods. There's also Titan Quest. Titan Quest is another action RPG game that I could recommend. I just want to show you guys the gameplay of it. Now, this one, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. It is a lot older, so visually, it may not look up to date, but I still think that this game is good. Like, if you're okay with the game's visuals, there is a lot of fun to be had. And they actually had an expansion pack that's more recent. It's not like within the last like year or two. I don't remember the exact date on the expansion, but they have a more recent expansion that you can pick up if you do enjoy it. And okay, this one is still like $20, but there's a bundle. I guess it's on sale. Some of these games are on sale. Now, this one I did stream this one a little bit. This one doesn't look bad either. I would say it's more of a hack and slash game, but there is action RPG elements, and it is isometric, so it's kind of like loosely in the action RPG genre. I would say it's more in the hack and slash, but there is itemization technically, and there's like, you know, points that you can put into the game, and I did stream it, and a couple people were wondering like what my thoughts are on it. Some of these games, again, I'd say they're fun for like 10 hours plus. It's not a bad game though, but that is Achilles Legends Untold, and this is one of the ones that I picked up recently, and it was literally $1.50. I think I played this on console a while back. I don't have very much time into this game, but from what I've played so far, it is an okay action RPG, and it's got, like, in the earlier stages, you get like kind of a pet that fights alongside with you. And I actually really liked it. The pathing in this game is actually really good. Like, if you want to click somewhere on the map, your character will path perfectly around. And I thought that was a really, like, a nice thing to have compared to any other action RPG where your character will just run into a wall. But I like this game a lot. I'm trying to keep most of these, like, isometric. There's a lot of other things, like Dungeons Sudaria, that I kind of wanted to mention. Even, like, Guild Wars, to an extent. Like, I really like Guild Wars 1, but I want to try to keep this like isometric action RPG for this sake of this video. But yeah, this was another game that was kind of cool. It's got a skill tree. There is like DLC for this game as well, and there's I think 4 games I want to say in the series, unless you count the trap version of the game, which maybe we can talk about in another video because I want to make this video not too long. But there's another really cool game, and then this one over here, it's kind of like a game where I put like 6 hours into it. Now, this one, you may run into compatibility issues because this was a game I wanted to kind of revisit, and I thought the game was okay. It's not like something that I'm like, oh my gosh, highly instant recommendation. Like, for action RPG enjoyers, I would say Last Epoch and Path of Exile are probably your go-to, but I wanted to cover some other games that you may not have actually heard of, and I actually had a pretty good time with this game from what I remember. But again, you will have to check the compatibility, as I couldn't run this on a more recent graphics card. I might have to like change some settings. I tried to run in compatibility mode with like other versions of Windows, but this game was not bad. If you can run it on your system, I actually had a couple fun hours with the game as well. But it's another game that you will have to buy, and well, it's $30 right now. I would recommend like Last Epoch over that. Heck, then Helsing for like $1. That's a steal. Absolutely. This game, if I had to choose like a game that you have to pay for, I mean, it's like $1. You really can't go wrong with that. And then now this one over here, it was called Slormancer, but then they changed it to they changed the name to the Slormancer later down the line. But this was a really fun action RPG as well. Now, obviously, it's got like, you know, friendly pixel graphics, but the game didn't really lack depth at all. I actually really enjoyed this game. There's different classes, and it's more of a comedic action RPG, but don't think that it lacks on content. Like, it definitely has lots of content. You can increase the difficulty as well. Let me see if I can show the itemization over here, because I actually had a really cool build. I think this is maybe my first, this is my first impressions of the game. I ended up making a really cool build that like you just basically spam turrets, and like every X amount of skills that you would do, you can increase the damage. Like, there is really good depth. If you're an action RPG enjoyer, you'll have fun with this game as well. And you can see like there's tons of depth with this game. Like, you can spend a good amount of time on this one as well. This one's also available on Steam. You have to buy it. I had a little bit of fun with this game as well. This is Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. I want to mainly show off gameplay because I feel like that's the most important thing. Oh, did they not show gameplay in this one? Because I don't think I made any YouTube videos covering this game. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to reserve it to screenshots because this video doesn't want to load. But there's a cinematic. The game looks like an isometric action RPG, and I like that it's not in like the fantasy setting. It's in like the futuristic settings. Oh, here, can we go left and right? Okay, so this is what the game looks like. So it's Warhammer, but I think the game was kind of cool. And it has like, well, last time I logged into this game, how much time do I have? And I had like 6.5 hours. It was enjoyable. And like, there's like these daily quests and stuff like that. Oh, here, can I show you guys the gameplay? There we go. Oh, okay, here we go. So this was released in 2018, but you guys can see the gameplay now. And it used to be really slow, but they completely changed that. I don't know when the update came out, but definitely, again, this one I give you a better recommendation than maybe some of the other games I've been talking about. Because a lot of these, they may have like mixed reviews. And while I want to say that, like, for example, Wolcen, it had mixed reviews because of the bugs, I still think that there was a pretty decent game at the end of the day. If everything was fixed at the time of Wolcen, I think that they had a much better chance at coming out with like a sequel to it. But if they ever make Wolcen 2, we'll play that for sure. But I just like action RPGs, so these are the other games that I could say that, yeah, you can maybe have some fun, but the main recommendations, Last Epoch and Path of Exile for sure. And then another thing I wanted to go ahead and give like a shout out to is Marvel Heroes. Now, there isn't an official Marvel Heroes server anymore because that game is, well, it doesn't exist anymore. But there is a team working on re-releasing the game on like a private server, which is basically like if you've played any like private server game. Yeah, are they illegal? Yeah, but are they fun? Absolutely. I don't know if they would shut it down, though. That's the thing. Sometimes private servers do get shut down. But that was a really cool game, and hopefully we will get that released later down the line, and it'll be complete. They have it like a Discord group, but that would be something that I would keep on my radar if it does get released this year. I will definitely be playing that game again. Marvel Heroes actually had Breivik work on some sort. They worked with him in some areas in the game, and I believe there's still the Stone of Jordan existed. There was even a cow level in the game. So you had someone that worked on OG Diablo 2, which is one of my favorite games. Obviously, Diablo 2 Resurrected is great as well. But those are the games that I could say that I have played that I could say, yeah, you might be able to have some fun with. But my number one recommendation, because it is free and it's free, it's got good graphics, and it dated well, and it still has a player base, 100% without a doubt, number one choice is going to be Path of Exile. And then I would say number two, probably Last Epoch. Then the rest of them, they're kind of what I would consider mixed, or, you know, you may have some fun with them, but those are the two that I would recommend if you're just like myself, itching to either revisit maybe an older game. Heck, you go to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance or something like that. Those are the games that I could say that, you know, I've played, and if you want to try them out yourself, feel free to go ahead and let me know if I missed out on any other great action RPGs that are similar to Diablo, basically isometric action RPGs. But if you guys want to see gameplay of some of them, I do have like a first impressions or like a more extensive videos on some of them. I'll link it down below in the pin. But anyways, I'll see you guys in Season 4 of Diablo 4. But don't worry, I still have some other videos to release that are Diablo related before the season comes out. But like myself and most Diablo content creators, we are just waiting for that next season. But again, it doesn't come out until next month, so hopefully some of those other video games will help you be able to hold out until the time comes. Anyways, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.